Good morning, fellas. Today I'm going to show you how to make skins. Now, by any means, I'm not the greatest modder or skin creator, whatever, but I really hate gatekeeping, so I'll show you everything I know. Now, first things first, for the absolute beginners, if you don't know what this program is, I will leave link down in the description so you could go and watch it. And this video is mainly focused on people that already are familiar with Assetto Corsa and can go immediately into skinning and so on. However, this is Content Manager. It's an alternative launcher for Assetto Corsa. Rather than launching the game from Steam, you could just launch it from here and you could do a lot of other things. So, how do we begin, guys? The first things first, what we're going to do is our preparation and setup of everything, plugins, Photoshop, everything. Today's tutorial will be based on Photoshop, on how to make the skins themselves. So, we need plugins for Photoshop and we need to enable some plugins for Content Manager. So let's go ahead and set ourselves up before we begin with the skins itself and how to start, how to do the skins. We're gonna go to settings on Content Manager, we're gonna go to Content Manager, then we're gonna go to plugins. Now you want to enable magic.net, but I'll advise you to just enable everything from here. It's not that big, it's not gonna take any space, and it's gonna save you a lot of headache. We're not gonna go over everything, what is what, and so on. So, the reason why we need to enable magic.net is because when we go to skin editing mode, you could see right here, use PSD, XCF, ATC, instead of if existing magic.net plugin is required. So to enter skin editing mode, we really needed the magic.net. Now, we'll be staying a lot in the showroom later on, but for a different purpose. Now, once this is done, the next thing that you want to do now, guys, is locate your Photoshop folder because we need to install plugins for the Photoshop. You want to right click. If you have launcher for Photoshop, a shortcut on the desktop, find it, right click it. In my case, I have it on the taskbar. Right click on Photoshop, properties, open file location. Boom. Now, it's going to send you to the executionable, but we're going to scroll up to the plugins folder. So once we get in here, now we're going to be installing these two files, and also you could install the texture works. So this is the new plugin and these are the old plugins. However, it's not going to harm you to have both. How to get them? There will be links down in the description, and also I am working on a new category for skin creation where you could, on this channel, you could discuss and talk about skins. These channels here, if they are locked at the moment, they'll be open very soon when I finish them and by the time this video is posted. So here I'll be posting some skin tools. You have in the library some wraps, livery wraps, and then decals, stickers, anything you can think of. So for this purpose, you want to go to skin tool plugins or description of the video, and then you want to locate, scroll up, and you see the NVIDIA texture tools exporter. You want to open this website. Then once that website opens, you want to scroll a bit down and you want to locate the downloads. Once you're in the downloads, obviously you have to log in to download it, but you want to download the Adobe Photoshop plugin because when you click here, it will ask you to log in. So once you do that, you're good to go. Then another thing that you want to install, just in case, is to install the old plugins. Once you download these plugins and you also located the plugins folder, you want to open this. For this, you need a WinRAR or 7-zip, any extractor program, so you could open this archive. Once you open it, you see these two files. I already have them here. What you want to do is grab them and then place them in the plugins folder. Then in case you have Photoshop open, just close it so the information, everything can update, and the Photoshop will detect that now you have these plugins. One problem that you might face if you have both of the plugins and then once you go to Photoshop and you've done a little bit of work, whatever on a specific skin, and you go to save as, you will have both of the options, DDS and Intel Texture Works DDS. And now what happened is that when I use the old plugin, nothing changes on the skin, so it doesn't get updated live on the showroom. However, when I use the Intel Texture Works and I save the skin, boom, the sticker immediately appears because this sticker didn't appear when I used the old plugin. So you need to find, if you're going to use both plugins, you need to find which plugin works for you. I guess it's based on way too many things, support, compatibility, and so on. Now, once all this is out of the way, then now we can begin with our skin creation. I have prepared with some stuff. how do we begin? Well, first things first, let's go to showroom. Now we need to create a new skin. So for this purpose, guys, you want to go to paint shop and you want to save this one as new. So we're gonna type, can we type? So we're gonna click save as new. And now we're gonna call this test because it's our first skin, right? This is our test skin. We're gonna click save and this is generating previews, logo of the skin, and also created a folder for it. Now, how to very quickly maneuver to the skin folders? You want to close this, click on this manage car section. It's going to send you to the content section of Content Manager. Then another thing, you can right click here in the empty space, boom, it's going to open this menu. In case you didn't know, you could click folder, but the fastest way, and this will open the folder of the car, but the fastest way is find your skin, boom, this is test, right click, folder. Now, you can see, voila, we're in the skin folder immediately. So we're going to minimize this for now. And since we saw that we found and made a new folder for the skin, now we want to generate not the metal detail, we already have the metal detail there, but we want to generate the mapping itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to open the showroom again, click on the body itself, anywhere on the body, then TX diffuse skin.dds under textures. You want to click on these three dots, and now first question you might ask, hey, I don't have these options. To enable this, you want to click here on this arrow and then show options. Boom, you see, my options also disappeared. Click show options, it's gonna appear. And now these settings obviously will be also posted on my Discord, so you could find them there, that's not a problem. Now, common problem that you guys might face if you disable the DXT compression for DDS is that the transparency channel the alpha channel, the transparency might disappear, and then you'll get, I'll show a picture, you'll get a red generated DDS file, so mapping of the car. So for this purpose, if you have this problem, you just tick the use DXT5 compression for DDS. If you don't have it, you could not use the DXT5, but for this purpose, we're just gonna use this for showcase purposes. Now, we're gonna talk about the calculate AO mapping and the mapping of the car. So there's multiple variations. You could generate 4K, you could generate 8K, and they're great if you're gonna drive solo. Why? Because they're very heavy, obviously. The higher the resolution, the heavier it's gonna be on your PC. So for this purpose, guys, if you plan to make skins or any sort of skins that multiple people or lobbies or servers gonna use, and you have like 18, 15, 20, 30 drivers, you don't want their computers to die. For this purpose, we want to be a bit more, logical, and we're gonna use 2K, something balanced, something that looks good, and also is not super tough on performance, okay? Once we click on 2K by 2K, now we enter rendering, so you have to wait a bit. Then our render of the AO map just showed up. We want to go down on the right section, click on this button, then now we're sent to the car folder. So want to navigate to skins, want to navigate to test. This is our new skin that we just created. I want to save this skin.dds. Boom. There you go. Now, the next thing you want to also do is go to the mapping and generate another 2K by 2K. Now, let me explain before we go ahead and save this. We're going to be using this mapping. I really love it when I'm trying to align things so I could see where it's bending from the fenders and so on. Obviously, it's logical there to be bent, but just in case, it really helps you align where's the absolute center of the car and so on when you're dealing with like little pixels and so on. So we're going to save this. We're going to go to the skins folder. We're going to go again to the test folder. And we're going to save it as mesh or map, whatever you want to call it. Then, once we've saved everything, we could just literally just close this and we could leave this here. Now, before we go into making the skin, guys, I want to talk about the metal detail really quick. Since we generated a skin through Content Manager, we did get metal detail immediately exported into the skin itself. However, and you could see it right here, when we go to test, you could see car_paint.dds and also the PNG. So you could see right here, TX detail is car_paint.dds. This is the metal detail. Now, the metal detail is responsible for how the metallic surfaces of the car or whatever you're obviously going to edit is. So if we want to paint the metallic surface of the car, which is the whole car, then what we have to do is, if you want to export it yourself, if you need it ever, you could just click on these three dots again, like we did here for, well, like we're gonna do for the diffuse. Then we're gonna click export. Then you just export it, boom. Now, in order for me to showcase you what exactly the metal detail is going to do if we paint it, is like you're literally going to paint the metal surface of the car. We're going to grab this DDS car paint into the Photoshop, going to load the transparency as alpha channel. I'm going to hold Alt and I'll use the scroll to zoom in. Right here, want to click on this lock button, unlock the layer. I have the bucket selected. We have red color. Boom. I'm going to paint this. Now I'm going to click Save As. Boom. I'm going to replace the old metal detail. No compression. So that's going to be very heavy. Keep in mind only for personal use. Otherwise, I would probably suggest going with either linear 4 bpp or maybe 8 bpp. But again, it is really up to you guys what you aim for. Anyways, for showcase purposes, we'll go for with no compression. And you could see, boom, we literally painted the whole metallic surface of the car. So I will just go very quickly reverse this, boom, to white again, and I will save again on top of the car. This will make way more sense, guys, when we go now to making the skin, putting a wrap and so on, which is our next step. Now, since you know what we're doing, the next thing we're gonna do, guys, we'll open Photoshop again, open the folder of the skin, grab the skin.dds, move it on top of the Photoshop. Now, we have the AO map here. I'm gonna click this button. This will unlock the layer. Most people, what they will do is they will put the AO mapping as multiply. They will create a new layer and probably put it down. And obviously they can paint the layer down. And this layer, since this one is on top and is set to multiply, everything will just stack on top of it, and they're gonna merge in terms of color or whatever. So what happens now is they're overlapping, but here's one problem. When I deal with wrappings and things like this and I'm aligning stuff, I really like to move things with the mouse. But now when I want to move something, let's say I want to move the red layer, what happens is we're moving the AO map. Why? Because it's above. So how I like to work is I like this to be normal, this to go above, every single layer that I'm putting to be above and put it on multiply. Yes, this is way more work and so on, but everybody has their own technique, right? Might not be the best, but it works for me. So this is how I do it. Now, we're gonna grab a wrapping that I've prepared. I've prepared a few things that we'll test. We might not even put all of them. I prepared some basic stuff. And we're not gonna spend way too much time. Now, I've prepared a wrapping for today that we're gonna put EPS file. What is EPS? If you have EPS, you really wanna use EPS. It's vectorized image, which means whenever we resize it up or down, it's not gonna lose its quality. It's not gonna get pixelated. So we're gonna grab this EPS file, we're gonna put it on this line here, boom. That will open it in a new tab. Click OK, then we're gonna grab this selection tool, gonna grab this part. We don't have to grab the full of it, just grab part of the wrapping. This is what kinda is gonna look like on the car. Then Control C for copy, click again back to this layer, Control V for paste, and now since it's above, we wanna put it on multiply. Boom, now I painted it. So now you're gonna ask yourself, hey, just center it. Yeah, but we don't exactly know where center. We could probably hit it on I, but we might not be absolutely accurate. So here's where, guys, this mesh comes in. So we're gonna put this, and what's gonna happen now, guys? You could see how I can super easily, whoops, one moment, let me move this down. You could even see it under how easily I could just select this layer, use the arrows up and down, and you could see it. We could, with absolute accuracy, align the whole wrapping. See this? So this is where I use the mapping itself. So Now, since we have the UV map, we could just click on the mesh, on the eye, so we stop seeing it. We're going to hide it. And now, what we want to do, I'm going to click on, we could just duplicate the layer, or you could Control C, Control T. I'll call this bottom. So we will have it as bottom and top. So this will be top. And one advice, guys, always make sure you're organized. Always make sure you name things what they are, and even you can put them in folder. So now I'll click Control T on this layer and I'll flip it vertically. Boom. Now I'm gonna move it down more. Whoop. Let's align it. There you go. Now, in order for me to be absolutely sure I have this aligned, I'm gonna put again to see the mesh file that we named it. There you go. Everything seems great. It all seems perfect. So now you probably ask yourself, oh, look, this is sick. Everything is aligned and so on. Yes, guys, but no. So this is where you will face a lot of headache later on. This is where the annoying part comes in. You want to know why? Watch. We're going to go to the car. Boom. Now everything's updated. Ooh, we got the livery. We got the wrap. Oh, yes. But we have a lot of problems to fix, which probably will be for a later video. So look at this. This is misaligned here. This is misaligned here. You have to go and fix all these, align them to make it look very nice and clean. You see, that's because when the modders export the skins, they will hide part of the car in the 3D program, either 3ds Max, Blender, whatever. They will hide and they'll only leave this side here without, obviously without the rims and the wheels itself. This side, then obviously they'll make a render of it, and when they make the UV map of the car and stuff, and then this side, and then the hood, the top, and so on. So when I personally make wraps, what I will do is obviously I'll have just the hood itself in one layer, then I might have the top in another layer, the trunk in another layer, the rear bumper in another layer, and so on, so that when you work on something, you only work on it, and not everything is connected. So this is why it becomes very tricky, but I believe this is a great hobby to do something when you really want to relax. You find peace and quiet and you just do skins. Now, we're not gonna align things today because it's gonna take a lot of time. It's a very annoying process. So now, since you know how to use this, and you know how to put the wrapping a bit and like combine it, and you know how to align it, let's move a bit to stickers. Now here's where metal detail comes in. Now, we're going to put some stickers, and I'm gonna grab the sparkle. We're gonna make the sparkle smaller, obviously. And now we're gonna put sparkle about here. Let's put it here. Now, what we want to do, guys, you want to hold control. For me, it's control, for you might be alt, whatever. Left click on it, and you can see we have selection. Then click on this tool, right click, hover over it, and right click. Then save selection, and you want to add it to alpha 1. Then what you want to do is add to channel. I personally like to create new and then add them each one to be independent, so later if I make a mistake I can just go to the channels and clean them. But let's for now add this to alpha 1. Now what this is going to do is it's gonna make the game what this is telling is that alpha 1 tells the game that the metal detail and the sticker is one thing, if I'm not mistaken. And it makes also the sticker look very realistic, part of the metal detail. It takes the reflections, it takes everything, it makes it very good. So this, to my understanding, I might be absolutely correct. These are again things that I've been digging, researching, but there's not much information out there. There's a lot of gatekeeping again. Next thing that we want to do, since we added it to the alpha channel, what we can do, guys, is we can duplicate this layer. We're gonna name this sparkle top. Let's call it sparkle top and sparkle bottom, right? This is sparkle white, so we're gonna add this sparkle bottom. So this is sparkle bottom. Boom. Now we're gonna grab sparkle top. We're gonna move it a bit, so I'll hold shift now so it moves completely online. and we're gonna put it about here. Now I'm gonna hit Control T, and we're gonna flip it vertically, and we could also flip it horizontally if needed. And then I will align it just a little bit. So let me see if it's all good. This should be fine. So they should be absolutely proper how it is. There you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to double check this. Boom, save, yes, okay. And let's go again to the showroom. Boom, we have the sparkle. And let's check the other side. Boom, we have the sparkle here as well. So obviously this one is a bit backwards. This one is a bit more to the front. And again, I was not fully, watching to absolutely align them. But if you want, you could do that, obviously, and double check. One thing that you could see is, again, this is up to the modders. This was not absolutely perfectly aligned, so they're not in absolute perfect line. So if I hold shift on the, oops, my bad. If I am to grab this and I want to move it with the shift, this will say, oh, this is perfectly straight here on Photoshop. Yes, guys, but the AO mapping of the car might not be absolutely straight. So if you check here, let's draw a line from here. Whoop. You could see, just look through the front. Let's grab from here. You see this section here, this side of the car, the right side of the car is a bit backwards. So you're like, oh wait, what the fuck? Like, Photoshop told me that it's aligned. Yeah, but this side, the model put it a little bit backwards. So that's why I didn't misalign. So when there's, misalignment, not proper placement, then you have to do it on eyesight and count yourself. So I'll grab this, move it a little bit back. Boom, let's check a little bit more. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. And I guess it could be a little bit backward more and so on. But again, let's be honest. Who is going to absolutely pay attention like that crazy to this? Then we're going to save this. Okay, let's check this side. Let's check this side. Looks about accurate. So no problems whatsoever. It looks very nice. Again, showroom is not going to show maximum quality and things like this. You will need to go to in-game. So let's see if my computer is not going to die. But again, another thing, if you want to update the skin and everything and see your progress, click update previews. Wait a bit. Boom. There you go. Now you have the updated preview. So let's go in-game with our test skin. There you have it. So, give me just a second. Ooh, I'm lagging pretty badly. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. So, let me stop the reshade. I am lagging terribly. Computer is dying from the rendering and stuff. But this is our test skin at the moment. So you could keep working the wrapping and things like that. And we'll have a lot of guides on the external configs and other things. And that's pretty much for now. And finally, before we're done for today, guys, I wanted to show you how you can play a bit with Photoshop. And like how you want to learn is, let's put one lightning, and on the first eye side, we're gonna hide the sparkles. Obviously, since they are added to the alpha channel, you see them, but like, let's put this lightning somewhere here. So I want to show you that even when things look absolutely horrible, you could still make some of it, make something good. We're gonna put bevel and emboss. You could see we could add a nice shadowing. If you want to play a bit with the shadowing, you could. What you can do is obviously the more you put the opacity, the stronger the shadow. So you could just lower it a bit, make it like this, just to give it a bit of an oomph. You could see it makes it nice and 3D. Then if you want, you could increase the size. So you could give it more depth if you want. Really depends like what kind of a look you're trying to get. We could put a little bit of this. And another thing you could do is you could add glow. And if you want, you could check what kind of a size of the glow you add to the sticker. Then you could play with the range. You see the range gets bigger. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is, don't hesitate to experiment, to play more. You could drop shadow. You could increase the size. You could see how the shadow gets increased and stuff. So really, I want you to experiment a lot so you could learn a lot. Again, same with everything, same with the how to draw videos that I do. you gotta experiment and you gotta practice and go to all these failures to learn. Then again, same thing, boom, and we're gonna add it to the alpha channel. Right click, save selection, channel alpha, add to channel, boom, boom. Let's duplicate the layer. This will be lightning top, whatever, doesn't matter. Boom. Since you know the top part is way a bit backwards, we're gonna control T again to edit, to transform, sorry. Then we're gonna flip vertical, boom. And now we're gonna move this slightly backwards, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And let's save this. Let's see how bad it looks, because this lightning absolutely does not fit our wrapping on our side of things. Well, to be honest, you know what, guys, this doesn't look that bad. This actually doesn't look that bad, on the wrappings. Like I mean, obviously very terrible placement of the lightning, but I didn't want to go over the sparkle. But honestly, with this lightning, you could really make it work. You could definitely figure something out with the lightning, but you could see how the glow and everything, and when we added it to the alpha channel, how it goes. It's like it's part of the car. It's like really like a video added to the car. It's very cool. I really like this lightning, especially when you play a bit and get it to work. So again, I'm not sure what happened here with the lightning. Let me see. Oh, I see what happened. I've put the light. My bad. Sorry, guys. I had the lighting way too low. I have no idea what I'm doing. So let's fix this up. Boom. All right. Let's see our lightning. There you go. So this is it, guys. How you could play with these stickers in a nutshell, and you could do whatever you want. You could add characters, you could add whatever you want. I want you to experiment. I want you to learn as much as possible. You could add even this guy, boom, like some some fella from Dynasty Warriors. And we're gonna remove this, obviously, boom. Oh, come on. We're gonna rasterize this fella, boom. You're not gonna tell us what we can delete and what not. We are the master of Photoshop. Whoop. Let's make him smaller. He's not very happy about it that he's in the video, but I guess he can live with it for one video, right? I think he should not be that mad, okay? Then, again, boom. And let's add him to the alpha channel. Save selection. You could either make new or just add him, but don't replace. Then boom, okay, we added him to the alpha channel. I'm gonna duplicate him. I'm just trying to get through this very quickly, guys, so let's not lose. Control T, flipping vertical. I just want to not lose too much time. I want to save a bit of time now. He should be about, I'm trying to measure their heads, I think about here, and a bit backwards, because the other guy is a bit closer to here, a bit moving here. Something like this. Save as, boom, 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 enter very quickly. So just to save time. And you could see right here how it gets, boom. And you could see this fella is now on the car. And you could definitely see how he's not happy at all. But this is in a nutshell, guys, how you could start adding a lot of things. And we're gonna cover some more details and some more things in the next videos. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Definitely we'll be addressing misalignments, how to fix the side, how to work with the windows so you don't get in trouble. We're gonna address a lot of things. Obviously, the main part that I'm gonna be pounding a lot will be the external config, where we're going to be adding neons, playing with the lights a bit, the inside, also improving the look of the car in general using the new custom shaders patch libraries. And we're gonna make this car nice and beautiful.